All right, pre-show shenanigans, major episode, but we're gonna start off real quick. We're gonna keep this pre-show nice and short. Nothing too out of the ordinary today, but for LA, very out of the ordinary. It is raining today in sunny southern Los Angeles. As a USC student, on my walk to class, let's just say it was comparable to. I would say it was comparable to like the Northwestern football team walking out to go play Michigan or Ohio State. Okay. There was just dread and despair across the entire campus on my walk to class. Nobody had an ounce of positivity on their face. It was a dark vibe on the way to class. I hope that whoever USC has on campus for a visit right now, I hope everything was indoors, or I hope they reschedule the next week, because recruits do not want to see this type of USC right now. But let's embrace debate slightly here, because this is a rhetorical question. We know the answer. But I think USC LA kids react more negatively towards their weather of choice, rain, than most Midwestern or Northern students react to snow. Okay. I think there's a higher percentage of kids who go to college in the Midwest or in the North, where it snows frequently, who will attend class on a snow day than LA kids on a rain day.
Well, I mean, I think it depends on the school, and I also think it depends on like the state. Like I said, like Minnesota, right? Like we are very much like well prepared for snow, and on top of that, like schools just don't close. At least my school never closed when we get a snow. Like when there was a lot of snow, like you just deal with it and you get there. Like it's why people are pretty decent drivers if you come from Minnesota or from the north. I say pretty decent. There's some of us that are still very bad.
Everyone's got their, everyone's
yeah.
got their exceptions.
Hey, you know exactly who I'm talking about, and I know you're listening to this right now. Okay.
We're calling out people.
Yeah, but if it's from like the Northeast, like some places like Northeast are like kind of like on the Atlantic, kind of lower, or like Texas, where it got snow like this past week, because it's not abnormal. It's abnormal, but not abnormal for Texas to get snow. Like no shot.
Something I was not aware of until recently.
No shot those kids are going to class. Absolutely no shot. Now, hey, if it last year, remember it snowed in LA last year. Do you think there was any chance anybody in LA would have showed up to class if that actually like hit LA? No shot.
Southern California, it snowed. Okay, slight correction. Maybe aspects of LA, but not South Central LA.
It hit the mountains. It hit the mountains back by where the valley is.
Yeah, that's something where, personally, on my side of LA, did not experience snow in LA personally. Okay. It wasn't like GTA 5 in the winter time. Okay. It was not looking like that. But let's just say the rain has picked up quite frequently over the past couple of years. Okay. Let's just say right now we are in a period where I kind of expect it to look this gloomy and shit for a while. So tough on USC recruiting. Okay. Very difficult time right now. I have no idea how they got Isaiah Collier to come.
Hey, man. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. We had recruits coming in when it was 25 degrees in New Orleans.
Brutal. Clearly Ty Thompson, that did not scare him away. So I mean, no. Different strokes for different folks. I think that's the best way we could put it for now. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to bring up. LA rain. It is it's Armageddon. Okay.
There would be there was a point in time that if you told Grant it's gonna rain for 3 days, Grant would be like, "Oh, you're fucking with me? No way.
No.
False.
That's not true.
Like not true.
At all. We're talking about LA weather or San Francisco?
I'm trying to think. So when we were in school together, right? All the way back in elementary school. But
yes.
How many times do you think it actually rained? Like we're talking here for anybody who doesn't want to guess.
I remember exactly. I can't say I remember. We were in
elementary school. We were in elementary school in like the early 2000s. I would say probably late 2000s. I honestly remember maybe like 2 rain days.
Yeah, I have zero recollection of a rain day back then. I can specifically point to a time, sophomore, junior year of high school, where it specifically began to rain. Like my freshman year, bro, that summer was brutal. Like you got kids passing out on the football field. It was so hot. And like even in winter workouts, it was still, no, I'm not complaining. 75 degrees when we would work out after school, which is great. But for your winter conditioning, you'd hope it's 60. You'd hope it's 60 degrees.
Get a little wind chill in there too,
No, that's what I'm talking about. I want that wind chill. Like one thing that has stuck with me for the rest of my life. It was the LA Rams Hard Knocks when Jared Goff was a rookie. Okay. And he talked about during their like conditioning test in training camp, like whatever early day it is. He was just talking about keep that shirt on as long as possible. When you take the shirt off, you get a second wind. And I stay true to that. I stay true to that. Okay. I keep those words of Jared Goff in my mind wherever I go. If I have something crazy. But yeah, it was fun facts of the day. I think we're ready to get onto the episode. Today is a big time episode. We have an Ohio State of the Union today. Big time NFL playoffs to discuss. Patrick Mahomes, you are once again a worse boogeyman to me than Aaron Rodgers is to Everett.
I have something else about that.
My boogeyman is way worse than yours.
I think
not even comparable at this point.
No, it's not, but I'm going to explain exactly how that happened, by the way.
How what's my boogeyman
we'll get there.
Came to be? Or okay.
We'll get there.
All right. We'll get there. We'll get there. But
teaser.
Without further ado, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today it is episode 189, massive NFL divisional round to recap. Ohio State has essentially ransacked the Alabama Crimson Tide. Caleb Downs and Julian Say our Buckeyes, and also a very, very special welcome to a most likely a pretty large influx of viewers right now. A lot of people coming in.
Hopefully,
the offseason wish list. We've, generated a lot of traffic recently. Compared to the past couple months. So for any of our new time listeners, welcome to the Waterboy faithful.
Subscribe.
We're all here.
Make
for
sure
a
you
good
subscribe.
Time. So yeah, welcome to the show. We got a lot in store today. You know what? We'll be starting off with college football. Maybe a lot of people here who probably got introduced to us from Everett. Maybe you can hear me a little bit before we get to Everett in the NFL mainly. But okay, college football. Breaking news, Everett. Breaking news from Lane Kiffin, your favorite coach. Ohio State has apparently spent $13 million on the transfer portal in NIL, Everett. My first thought when I heard this is, that's it? Only $13 million?
So now can I, how does Lane Kiffin know this evaluation?
Well, Lane Kiffin tweeted out an article, I believe, from a SEC or Ole Miss beat writer reporting on it. He quote tweeted this article, just put it out there. And first, we'll talk about the Lane Kiffin perspective. I don't think he was necessarily like complaining about Ohio State NIL. If you look at Ole Miss, actually, they're the number one class in the transfer portal right now, Everett, in case you forgot. But Ole Miss, if anything, I think that's Lane Kiffin going up to his boosters and being like, 13 mil is not that much more than what I currently have. So give me that extra 4. I think that was more so what Lane Kiffin was doing. I think he was more so sending a message to his NIL booster department than calling out Ohio State and the NCAA to do something, in my opinion. But back to the Ohio State perspective, you guys woke up the beast. And by you, I mean Michigan. Okay, we watched you beat us 3 straight times. Then they won the national championship in a year where, I mean, hell, even before the Alabama game, I literally thought to myself, there's no way they're going to actually win the Natty this year. I genuinely thought it would never happen in my lifetime, but it did, and it just happened. I don't care about the cheating stuff.
Breaking news.
I swear, if this is the Titans head coaching job,
it is the Titans head coaching job.
News, because I saw that a couple minutes ago and glossed right over it. So,
well, it is breaking news from the Titans, but the bank. Well, I also would say that would you expect that this guy is going to be their head coach? Would you have expected that?
No, but let's just say any of the bigger names we had floating out there, I didn't expect any of them to take it. Anyways, so let's go on.
Bengals offensive coordinator Brian Callahan will be the next head coach for the Tennessee Titans. Most of you will probably already know this by now, but if you get your sports intake from the Waterboy podcast, there you go.
You guys are all welcome. Brian Callahan, new coach, taken over former Ohio State legend Mikey V, Big Vrabes. We'll discuss it more, but today,
that'll be in the
Mike Vrabel,
NFL segment.
Let's just say he might be waiting on a position that may be open, which people are assuming is going to somewhere else, myself included. But okay. I just want to say a quick shout out to you, Everett, actually. Ryan Day might be a member of the Waterboy Faithful, okay? A couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago or so, you called out Ohio State's lack of transfer portal moves. You were asking, other than Justin Fields, who's really like a notable transfer portal name you guys have really landed? And I struggled to come up with an answer to that question. Well, Ryan Day Everett said, hold my beer, buddy. Hold my beer, Everett takes. Okay, I got something up my sleeve for you. The number one player in the transfer portal, safety Caleb Downs from Alabama, has committed to Ohio State. Okay. He has committed, fun fact, younger brother of Josh Downs on the Colts, just fun fact of the day. But Ohio State now has the number one transfer portal and high school player in the class of 2024. Pretty sure it's the first time it ever happened, but I did not fact check that. So do not quote me on that. But pretty sure it's the first time it's ever happened. Pretty sure, capital P. And now, with the commitments of Caleb Downs, Josh Downs, the returning of, I believe, 9 players who were draft eligible. I just got a quick little list of Ohio State starting defense. I know I was just talking about Julian Sain, but it's the defense we want to talk about here, okay? JTT returning at DN, Tyleek Williams returning at tackle, Ty Hamilton, younger brother of Davon Hamilton at D tackle, Sawyer back at DN, linebacker, we might have some decisions to make, but it's probably going to be Cody Simon and Sonny Styles or CJ Hicks at the other. We'll see. Denzel Burke at corner, Iggy on the other side, Jordan Hancock at nickel, Lathan Ransom at strong, and Caleb Downs at free. So of the people I just listed, Everett, 9 are returning. And Caleb Downs is actually probably an upgrade. So you could just say 10 people
I wouldn't say
returning.
Probably. Caleb Downs
is an upgrade.
Is an
Definite,
upgrade. Don't
definite
slander
1
him
million
like that. You
percent
cannot
an
be doing
upgrade.
that.
So,
you cannot be doing that.
In honor of the new number 2 at Ohio State, that is 1,000,000% upgrade there.
Well, is there just not a number 2 on offense or defense? It's just one player.
Emeka is the player on offense. Caleb will be getting that number on defense. So
okay, I had to clarify.
Yes, yeah. Emeka still there. He's still number 2. This is still an Emeka Egbuka jersey. Want to make that very clear, but it is now also a Caleb Downs jersey. So the legendary number 2 at Ohio State lives on. But starting offense, and we'll just go over the skill guys because I mean, no one knows the linemen.
You also know I will immediately tune out like that.
Yeah, I'm not. We're just gonna list the skill guys. So Will Howard at quarterback, Trevion Henderson and Quinshaw Judkins at running back. What the hell? Emeka at receiver. Most likely Carnell Tate will be starting at the other wide receiver, and then I don't know, Brandon Innes or Jeremiah Smith at that third receiver position. Maybe Jaden Ballard gets it. I would doubt it. I would guess either Innes or Jeremiah Smith. Everyone I just mentioned are all 5-star wide receivers, Everett. And then tight end Jelani Thurman, who I'm excited for. But that weapon room is looking terrifying right now. It is the defense I'm way more excited for, though. The defense, I am so excited. I think on paper, this is the best top to bottom Ohio State defense of my life. Questions at linebacker, but I think it is the best top to bottom in my life.
I mean, that's a bold statement considering who you've had on your team.
I would primarily, when I think of the best that I've seen, is probably the 2019 Ohio State defense that had Chase Young at D end, had Okuda outside, Arnett at the other, Sean Wade at nickel, Jordan Fuller at safety, Malik Harrison, Pete Warner. Ridiculous. Absolutely stacked, absurd defense. This one's exciting, though. This defense with the returners, I expected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these, 6 of these starters to leave, and they're staying. That's just something.
Then you had that little
happen.
you had, we'll give you credit, not whoever's tweet it was. We'll give you credit for saying, hey, these guys might come back. They might be returning.
Hey, that's what I was just hearing. The fact that it's happening, I'm in a state of shock right now. It's a little early Christmas period for me. But the last notable thing we have to discuss, Everett, I can't avoid this one. I need to address it. Bill O'Brien, Bob, B.O.B. has been hired as the Ohio State offensive coordinator.
Yeah, you remember the name I was
looking for.
Days? You remember the days where you were like, yeah, it's going to be Joe Brady. And I say, well, he's an offensive coordinator for an NFL team now who's in the playoffs. I don't know if they're going to want to you don't want to do that.
Interim offensive coordinator, who
got a head coaching interview.
Did he? With who?
He did with the Falcons, I believe.
Okay, take that one with a slight grain of salt. The Falcons kind of don't really count as an NFL franchise. But Joe Brady, definitely one of the hottest names in the offensive NFL world or just football world in general.
Again. He's a hot name again.
Okay, I'm just saying, Everett. I don't think it's the craziest thing to suggest that he would consider the Ohio State offensive coordinator position. But hey,
I just think that if you're in one of the top offenses in the NFL and you're doing a pretty good job, like I think it's kind of crazy to think that he would leave for a college level job.
Well, this
because a lot of people's
heard that
goals
earlier this year. Of course, everyone wants to be in the NFL. And if you just look at the daily life of an NFL coach versus a college coach, every single one of them will pick the NFL coach's daily schedule. Okay. Not debating that, not fighting that aspect at all. It's more so I know Ohio State would have given him a pay increase to come to Ohio State. Like, I know that's true.
Yeah, but then it's kind of
it's up to him though. I mean, hey, if he can become an NFL head coach right now, go do it. Shit. That'd be my dream too if I was in his position. But you know what? Enough about Joe Brady. Okay, let's not make this sad. Okay, today's supposed to be a happy episode. Unfortunately, though, we have to talk about Bob the Builder right now. Okay, Bob the Builder is now the Ohio State offensive coordinator. Now, okay, there's two parts of this. First, Bob the Builder's here. But real quick, let me just say this. In terms of recruiting, Julian Sand initially committed to Alabama when Bob was their offensive coordinator. So Julian Sand probably won't be a Buckeye without Bob the Builder.
So real quick, just some fun Bob stats for you. Fun Bob stats for you.
I have not quite looked up these Bill O'Brien stats. I just saw a video of him chewing out Brady on the sidelines, and I was like, you know what? Kind of respect
in 2022, I'm going off of just the latest college appearance from him. So in 2022, he was the OC for Alabama.
That is true.
Okay. That year, true. Alabama.
That is correct.
Alabama was 11th in total yards per game.
Really?
Was 477.1.
They were 11th?
11th. 477.1 yards per game.
I actually mean that as a good thing. I didn't think they were that good.
Fourth in total points at 41.1 per game. Really? And prior. Yeah. Well, I was about it was going into his NFL stint, which we don't need to know.
Well, we all know how it went. It went awful. Did not go to plan. All right. That did not go to plan. Okay.
He did famously want to switch Jalen Milroe to a wide receiver, though.
That is true. That is true. Okay.
Aaron Nolan, watch out. Can't deny that. Watch out. Aaron Nolan, watch. Julian saying, watch out. You might be a wide receiver by the end of the year.
Yeah, or probably just in the transfer portal in a year from now. Okay. Bill O'Brien, he is now offensive coordinator at Ohio State. One thing I just want to say, like, was he my number one target? Hell no. Okay. We just talked about Joe Brady and never made me sad, but like was he my number one option? No, God, no. Is he better than many alternatives? Yeah, I'll give him that. But no, not the name I quite wanted to take over. Yeah, I think. I would have taken Cliff over him, 100%.
Well, Cliff might be going to the Bears. Actually, no, I don't think he is anymore. No. They had somebody else. They had somebody else. I can't remember what his name was, but he was the Seahawks guy, the Seahawks coordinator. I believe.
Don't think I'm familiar with the man himself.
It is Shane Waldron.
Okay. I just want to say, yeah. Okay. We got some moves going around. We got some moves. Bob the Builder, he's now my guy. I'm rocking with Bill.
I know you cannot wait to see his face on the sideline every Saturday.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be hilarious. I guess, well, actually, this is why I want to talk about that.
He is the man. Isn't he the man that developed Matt Schwab?
Did he do that? Was he in Houston at that point?
Hold on.
Probably.
That would be the greatest accomplishment of his career. So I gotta figure this one out. Hold on. Houston Texans no way Bill O'Brien was coaching in 2007.
Not
There's
a head coach.
Yeah,
not a head coach.
Yeah,
no. So I was about to say
he was at Penn State 2012 to 2013. People forget about
I know that. He replaced Joe Pa like that.
Yeah, people forget about that.
He was Hackenberg.
Oh God! So that he did have a masterpiece because Christian Hackenberg win the second round.
Did he?
Yeah, he went in round 2.
Really?
Yep.
I did not know that. I didn't know. Wait, did he actually?
To the Jets.
Oh, that doesn't count.
Well, yeah, round 2 to the Jets.
I mean, he was a round 2 pick, but was he a round 2 talent? Okay. Different.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Here. Bill O'Brien made him apparently a round 2 talent. So
I think it's more so Bill O'Brien brainwashed at the time the New York Jets front office into believing he was a second round pick.
Wasn't that Rex Ryan?
Probably. They might have had Mark Sanchez there already. Well, he would have been washed by then. So it doesn't.
It would have been like 2016. So no shot.
Shit. I totally forgot.
Like 2014.
I totally forgot. Hackenberg's like first year was 2012. Okay, I think we can get off. Yeah. I think it's.
Anyways, yeah. The only last thing for college I want to just talk about is you just mentioned this earlier. Just imagine if one of the top head coaches in college football got his like ideas or moves from a podcast like us. Just imagine you're like, yeah, he's just in a meeting, whatever. He's like, I just got to go consult my.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what Brandon Staley was doing for the past couple of years.
I mean, but I'm just like, just imagine he's just like, yeah, I got to go. Let me just consult with my guys real quick. He just turns on an episode of the Waterboy podcast. It's just me.
Your guys is episode 189 of the Waterboy podcast. Yeah, sounds about right. Seems legit. I mean,
man.
Yeah, no, there are a lot of things going on.
Hey, all I'm saying, I remember who the GM of the former GM of the Panthers was. But I think that guy did listen to that episode of the Waterboy podcast. He just didn't listen to the full part of it.
Yeah, no, he did not.
He just didn't listen to the full part of it.
Yeah, no. We wanted to trade DJ Moore, not to take Bryce Young, but more so to, DJ Moore is the key piece of the trade. Like you trade away DJ Moore and you get something back, not trade DJ Moore and some other shit.
I was not thinking that we were gonna nuke our own franchise when doing that. That was not in the game plan. Didn't listen to that part of the episode.
Slight pandering here. You're trying to win over some Panthers fans by saying the "we" right there. You are not a Panthers fan, but that's okay.
I am not.
I'm not. Just had to slightly disclose. Okay.
But when I say the wish list, like I'm a fan for the temporary 30 seconds while I'm going through it. That's just okay. Unless it's the Packers, in which case I might be trying to destroy your entire team. So just give it with a grain of salt.
This could be a quick little light transition. If I believe correctly, is it the window to declare for the NFL draft over?
I think it was already. It's already passed.
Yeah.
I believe because it was like Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams had like 2 days to declare. So I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah,
he waited till like the last minute. So
because he was like, "Fuck, the Bears have the number 1 pick." Yes,
I'm just saying. I personally don't think I'd have the balls to be like, I'm withholding declaring for the draft until I know the Bears have traded away the pick. I personally don't think I'd take that route. But hey, it's your choice, man. No one's telling you to do that, but you. I just think though, for this upcoming class, I think we had a good amount of big name players end up staying, but still, I think a very, very talented.
Look, I mean, I was talking to our friend Sam.
There we go.
Our on staff Raiders fan. And what he was saying. He's on retainer. What he was saying,
independent contracted employee. But yeah.
But what he was saying, he was like, this is like, I could see 10 wide receiver quarterbacks going in the first round.
10.
I was like, wow.
10 wide receiver.
10 total wide receiver or quarterback.
Or quarterback. Okay.
Like together. Combined.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a lot. Like, I'm just thinking, okay, let's think about this wide receiver class. Okay.
You got Neighbors, you got Odunze. Okay.
Those are the top three, right?
I think
Keon Coleman
all be top 10 picks.
Keon Coleman's in there. Can you keep track of this while I'm going through it, or I'll just look at the list? I'm going off the top of my head.
Brian Thomas in it. Yeah, Keon Coleman, Brian Thomas out of
Or is it
LSU.
Brian? Yeah, Brian Thomas. The guy from
He's
was it
nice.
Marshall? Not Marshall.
Troy Franklin out of Oregon.
Yes, Troy Franklin. I was thinking Green.
We got Lad McConkey out of Georgia. That's a
No.
dog.
All
That's
right,
a
all right.
Patriots wide receiver.
Now you're kind of taking the list away. Johnny
He's
Wilson, I
actually
think's in
nice.
there.
Don't disrespect him. Tez Walker, North Carolina.
Yep.
That's a guy I really, really like. Already got Keon in there.
As an
AB Mitchell
Auburn's
out of
got
Texas. Let me think of that. I know Xavier Leggett out of South Carolina. He's a big name guy, but he might be Quinn.
But like,
Johnson
there are a lot of guys that are like first, second round that are wide receivers.
Xavier Worthy, Jalen Polk, Washington. I think McMillan out of Washington is declaring. I don't know exactly if he's declaring.
I don't think he did. I don't know. Check Alabama's roster. But there are a lot more wide receivers that are kind of consensus round 1, round 2 than last year going into like this kind of combine like season. And then quarterbacks too. Obviously, we have the top 3, and I'm not going to say JJ McCarthy, so you're okay, right?
Was not didn't even think about throwing him in that top 3, so I no need to clarify there. But
we have the top 3: Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Jane Daniels. And outside of that's where it kind of gets interesting because we've got, I would say, 2 fringe round 1 guys, and Bo Nix and JJ McCarthy. And then you have Michael Penix, who some people think is a round 1, some people think like a round 4 because he's old, has weird throwing mechanics, kind of shit the bed in the championship game, and has an injury history. Then you have our legend, Michael Pratt, should be a first round pick. The Waterboy player, Lefty Dick Strong quarterback of the year award winner, the inaugural award winner.
You know what? An interesting name, a name that I know we have not discussed one time when it comes to NFL draft. Jordan Travis. I swear to God,
okay, I thought you were going to say Spencer Rattler. I was about to smack
Jordan
you.
Travis.
So here's the issue. Coming off a catastrophic knee injury.
Bad injury.
Already knocks your draft stock.
1,000,000%.
Especially because a lot of his game was based on athleticism. I think that really complicates all of that. And think about it this way, like,
what'd you say that, like, fourth round?
I would say like 4th, maybe 5th round. I think that he's taken a big kind of fall. But like, think about it this way too. Stetson Bennett played very well for his standards last year and went like round 6. Malik Willis.
I think that one's slightly different because Stetson was also like 26.
Yeah. Well, Jordan Travis is pretty old too.
Not that old though.
No. Malik Willis though, everybody was like, look at what he can do. Like, look, he's lighting it up for Liberty. Like, look at what he did in the combine, and then he went like round 4. So I don't know. Like, it is kind of difficult, and obviously that team, the FSU team, collapsed. Not collapsed. They still won some games, but they got shit on in their bowl game because Jordan Travis wasn't there.
They get a pass. They get a pass
because Jordan Travis wasn't there, and like that was the whole thing. That's what I'm saying. It's because like he was, but because he was kind of the bread and butter for the offense. So I don't know. I think it's interesting, but there I would say this is a very strong quarterback class outside of.
When I think of,
well, sorry, I take that back. Spencer Rattler's in the class, so give or take. But
I don't like to spend too much time pooping on any players out here. So I just want to say one thing I'm trying to look at this upcoming year is a diamond in the rough, a guy that we don't expect. Now, I'm not saying we're gonna have another Brock Purdy. I mean, the odds of just that story end up happening, Mr. Irrelevant being the starting quarterback for the 49ers, probably will not happen in this class. But I'm thinking of a 4th rounder later guy that maybe can get a shot like Aiden O'Connell with the Raiders, even though we don't think long term.
Well, not 4th rounder later, but 2nd, 3rd round.
Was Aiden O'Connell second?
Michael Pratt.
Oh, well, I mean, that's a 1st round talent right there. Day 1 starter coming. That's your guy. I'm trying to think of like a guy that we're not thinking about. I'm trying to think of a guy who doesn't have any hype right now. Okay.
So hold on. Let's look up this NFL 2024 draft prospects. We're gonna pull up this name, right?
Talia Tagovailoa?
No. No, not the case. Not the case. I want to go. I want to find quarterbacks. That's the problem. I need to organize this. Um, I guess we're going with PFF. That's gonna be an interesting one. They don't have it like organized by position. Why do you not have that organized by position?
Try CBS Sports prospect rankings, even though I don't really like them. They have it.
I don't care about the
organized.
prospect. I'm just looking at the names. I just want the names.
Yeah,
That's it.
go on CBS. They have it.
Yeah. Do they have it by position? No, they don't.
Yeah. Like I give you quarterbacks right now: Caleb, Drake May, Jane Daniels, Penix, JJ McCarthy, Bo Picks, Michael Pratt, Spencer Rattler, Spencer Trashler, Jordan Travis. Damn, dude, I'm kind of on a roll right now.
Keep going. Keep going.
Sam Fartman, Keaton Slovis.
Oh, you know who it's gonna be?
Sam Fartman. Do you like that?
Yeah. I forgot he was in this draft, but like he's
Me
probably
too.
around. What would you say? 2, 3, 3, probably round 3.
They're saying on here round 5, round 6.
Then I definitely would put him in that Brock Purdy role. 100%.
Fartman.
That's what I would do. That's what I would do.
Sammy Hardy.
He's got the Jimmy Garoppolo like jawline, everything set up too. Like he's good.
What do you mean by that? You're saying he's a pretty boy? He's not worried about football?
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying when
priorities off the field that
I'm saying
about,
you know the team maybe. Hey, he has a Gillette commercial. I mean,
does he?
Yeah, he does. Or
I
did. I don't know if he still does.
Well, never mind. I think we might know where his priorities lie. Okay.
Now, if he ends up in New England,
Miami Dolphins, do not draft that man. Okay, do not draft that man.
No, do drop. He
won't pay attention, Miami. He'll sweep Alex Earl from Braxton Berrios. Okay, like that would be a bad idea. Okay,
still might be better than Tua, but okay.
Oh, that's now from that aspect. I understand.
Yes,
I understand.
You get it.
But
you get it.
No, I'm just talking vibes here.
Okay.
Sorry. This is NFL. This could be our first point of the NFL. Frank the Tank insider news. LeBron James is allegedly recruiting Tyreek Hill to join the Chargers or Rams. So just some Frank the Tank insider news. Obviously not. It's a Frank the Tank thing. Definitely not true. But
all right. The real first news, the real first thing that I just want to tell you, I don't know if you know this because I know you weren't paying attention that much to the NFL when this draft rolled around.
Which draft are we talking about?
2017.
Yeah, definitely not.
So that was the Mitch Trubisky,
Patty Mahomes year.
Patty Mahomes, Deshaun Watson draft, right?
Who went number 1 that year before Mitch? Was it a quarterback?
Myles Garrett, I think was that year.
Myles Garrett?
I think that was Myles Garrett year.
Yes,
that was Myles Garrett.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, you know that the Chiefs at least traded up to get Mahomes, right? Like you're aware of that.
Aware of that.
Okay.
Yes.
The Chiefs traded. First of all, just want to put this into everybody's mind. One, the Chiefs did really well that season. They ended with the 27th pick. They got eliminated in the playoffs, but like nobody ever can be like, oh, you're not going to be able to get a quarterback. You have the 26th pick. You can trade up. The Chiefs got fucking
I just
Patty
looked
Mahomes.
Who they traded with to get the pick.
The Chiefs traded with the Buffalo Bills to get Patrick Mahomes. The Bills.
Buffalo is the reason that this all started. Buffalo's the reason that this all started.
Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Keep in mind, at this point in time, the Bills quarterback was Tyrod Taylor.
Former Chargers legend. Future Chargers legend at the time.
It was either that or Ryan Fitzmagic, but I would still believe it was Tyrod Taylor.
Probably
Tyrod Taylor.
Thank you.
Tyrod Taylor.
Wow.
No disrespect.
That hurts. I did not quite hash out those.
That's
details.
just like another layer. That's another layer to this.
And well,
arguably, okay, I know people are like,
okay, look, I'm looking at it right now. Now, do you know? Now the Bills, they didn't get the Chiefs pick the year after to get Josh Allen. Do you know who the Bills drafted with the Chiefs first rounder that year? Because there might be some retribution there.
So Tre'Davious White.
Tre'Davious White. So there's a little.
He's been hurt.
Overall, it's not. It isn't. But
I mean, look. All I'm saying is, I've seen so many people be like,
but no, trust me. Is Brady?
It's not Brady. Is Mahomes Allen the next Brady Manning? And everybody, it's like people are like, well, like Burrow was in that. Burrow was in that with Mahomes. Like Mahomes is just effectively taking it's it's its own dynamic. You can kind of be like,
describe the Brady Manning dynamic. It was Manning would win MVP regular season, then Brady would win the bowl. And so it was argument
Manning got him
MVPs
once, though,
or Super Bowl.
or twice. Manning got him twice, though. Manning got him twice.
It was, though, the argument was MVPs versus Super Bowls. Like, that was the battle between Brady versus Manning. Mahomes has the MVPs and the Super Bowls. So
now here's the one thing. I know, and the people are like, well, this is more like Phillip Rivers, where just like he never gets to the Super Bowl. Who the fuck knows, right? What, like, who the fuck knows? They're like 27, dude. They have like 5 years left. 6. Mahomes probably still has 7 years on his contract right now. So don't think about it that way.
Something like that.
But the whole reason why, arguably, as of right now, let's assume it continues that way. Let's assume it continues like this way, where it's constantly
Mahomes
like
and Allen.
It's Mahomes and Allen. I would say that this is better than the Brady Manning rivalry for the sole basis that the Bills,
some argument for
the Bills gave the Chiefs.
Okay.
Because of that added layer. Because they gave him that.
Because
I'm assuming that it kind of plays out the same way, where they're always meeting up with a chance to go to the Super Bowl, like fighting for the MVP. Like, it's assuming that still continues.
For the Josh Allen narratives, it's really difficult to fight the Josh Allen battle, because this was actually Mahomes' first time playing in Buffalo in his NFL career.
Now, to be fair,
was the first time
give him some slack. The kicker did pull the Blair Walsh.
Oh yeah, Tyler Bass, and I'm not sure you saw this. Really Tyler Bass, going into the season, signed a 4-year, $20 million deal with $10 million guaranteed.
What I do hope for the Bills fans, the Bills organization, and Tyler Bass's sake, is that it doesn't lead to a career collapse, because after Blair Walsh missed that field goal, he was never the same. Rattled. Rent-free. That kick rent-free. You know the meme on Twitter where it's like the dog and his Vietnam in the background?
I don't think I'm familiar with this one, Everett.
Okay. Anyways, that's what's playing through his head. Whenever he sees the field goal net, regardless. Okay. I would give Josh Allen a little bit of slack. He also did kind of console the Tyler Bass on the sideline, like afterward, like after he shattered his dreams. So great leader. Great leader. You know who's not a great leader? Stephon Diggs.
Okay. All right.
I love him though. He is my guy. All right.
He might be a diva, but he was your diva at one point.
So I got a couple of things. One other thing with that game, though, just to note, the referee of that, Sean Holucci or Ockley, Sean Ockley. I don't know where I was going with that.
You like how I immediately knew who you were talking about? You just tried to
Sean
sound
Ockley.
That out.
Chiefs were 8-2 going into last night when he was a head referee in the Mahomes era. They are now 9-2 with Sean Ockley as the head referee.
What's the name of that fucking Celtics ref in the NBA? The fuck is his name?
I don't remember it, but the guy who got fired for it.
I need to look this up. Celtics ref. Eric Lewis. Okay, we got a new Eric Lewis.
Yeah.
Sean
I'm
Ockley,
also happy.
The son of NFL GOAT ref Ed Ockley. Yeah, this is where we are in this day and age.
I'm also happy to announce that Jordan Love is not him. Aaron Rodgers is not back. I'm very happy about that one. He apparently learned the Brett Favre maneuver, throwing a crossbody interception at the end of the game.
I didn't want to bring it up because it happened with your team, but
I blame other things for that loss. Okay, I blame paying players to kill people. I blame it on that.
One thing
I'm looking at you, Dan Campbell. I'm looking at you, kneecaps, man.
I will say one thing that startled me was Aaron Jones in that game.
Yeah, how do you feel about that as a dynasty?
I thought
owner?
He was washed and dead. I thought we had shipped him off.
He got revived. He got revived.
I guess come playoff time, Aaron Jones shows up. So I might get some juice out of those legs.
Oh, hold on. Okay, maybe. Well, first and foremost,
I don't know.
We do not have an update on whether or not somebody was sacrificed the Buffalo pit.
I actually did want to ask that.
We do not have an update, and if one was not, one, what the fuck are we doing, Bills Mafia?
Yeah,
and two,
I mean, we gotta. What happened to the inner circle
season
that we went over last week?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, guys?
The other thing is, I just realized the Bills cut playoff Lenny last week after that game. He was not on roster for this game.
They
The
cut
Bills
playoff.
lost because playoff Lenny was not on the roster. Just saying that.
And I
Other
thought
little
Dalvin looked nice. I thought Dalvin looked nice. Or not Dalvin. James Cook.
James.
Shit. It is weird. What team is he's on the Ravens now, right?
Ravens. He had that 120-yard run. Everyone was like, "Oh, the Vikings could have used him this year." And then he had like 3 negative 5-yard runs. You're like,
So washed.
okay.
He's so washed.
So
It's
bad.
hilarious.
Little update that you'll like. Dolphins wide receiver coach Wes Welker. Yes, he's a wide receivers coach now. He is scheduled an interview for the New England Patriots offensive coordinator position.
Oh, that's
on the Patriots.
Now,
if Gerard Mayo just brings in all former Patriot players,
get Chris Hogan at wide receiver coach. Come on, bring in Chris Hogan.
I think he's off playing lacrosse somewhere. I remember he just was some professional lacrosse guy.
Damn,
maybe I don't know. I'm not up to date on my Chris Hogan.
That's what Bill Belichick would have wanted him to do.
But yeah. So there's that. Little quick interesting note somebody found. Typically before new uniforms come out, and typically I think it's like 5 years from the last redesigns about the timeline. Notable jerseys will start going on sale. 2 jerseys notably on sale for 2 different teams. First of all, Justin Simmons, the all-star free safety for the Broncos.
The Broncos
jersey is on sale.
The jersey is on sale. One that
orange. Yes.
Okay.
On sale. Second thing. New York Jets star Garrett Wilson's jersey on sale as well.
Wait, already? What? They already remade his jerseys? On sale.
So either Garrett Wilson's about to get shipped out, or they're getting new jerseys.
So that's why you brought it
between the lines.
Could this potentially be a number change?
I mean, it could be, but I doubt it.
I think Garrett already announced he's switching to number 5 next year. I think that's it.
But is Justin Simmons? But is Justin Simmons though? Because
I don't know about that.
Doesn't make sense.
I don't know about that aspect. I thought you were more so just talking to Justin Simmons. I'm talking that specific.
Now talking about the playoff games from this last week. CJ Stroud apparently can't do anything against the Harbaugh family. They are his kryptonite, which works really well for you as the Chargers.
It is Coldridge, Bernard Stroud. Okay, everyone.
Not against the Harbaugh family. Not against the Harbaugh family.
No, that's when Coldridge comes out the most.
Oh, okay.
Coldridge is not a good thing. We mean Coldridge as in he can't play in the cold. That's what we mean by Coldridge.
Other thing, I don't know if you saw this. The Lions took a knee early on that final play of the game.
What Russian?
No, that's not it. That's not it.
Okay.
The Lions took a knee with 40 seconds left on 3rd down. They took a knee.
At the end of the first?
The end of the 4th quarter after the Baker Mayfield pick.
Okay.
They had the ball. They needed early on 3rd down with 40 seconds left. They did not run out the clock. The Buccaneers had 1 timeout left.
And didn't use it?
They did not call it.
They were just like, fuck it, we lost.
If they called it, it would have required the Lions to attempt a 45-yard field goal, which is not a gimme.
Yeah, we saw that in Buffalo.
Could get the ball back. If the Lions got that field goal, it's a 2-score game. You can either get a touchdown quick onside kick, still try to win, or if they miss, you can go and win the fucking game. The fact that you as a team, as an organization, as a coach, do not play until the final whistle in the fucking playoffs is a fireable offense. That is fucking disgusting.
Potentially right there. Yeah, we got fraud alerts right now.
They're going.
They are loud right now.
Not having Baker Mayfield though. 2 interceptions. Not bad.
We got to give some credit where credit's due, Everett. We got to give some credit where credit's due. Baker Mayfield, I was so impressed with just kind of the guts. Now, my first thought when it was just a 27 or 24-17 game, the Lions had just gone down to score again. I was like, dude, there's no way Baker can just keep up with the scoring output. His defense is failing him right now, but I'm not going to give Baker any shit. Putting up 23 on the road in a divisional game is nuts. Like, Baker, I was beyond impressed. I know he threw 2 picks, but 350 yards, 3 tubbies. Like, we got to give Baker some credit here. I was really impressed. I think he has definitely earned himself a starting spot next season. Maybe not with the Bucks. If I were the Bucks, I think I'd rock with Baker. But
yeah, I probably would too. They have a pretty
Trask. I mean, come on.
It's a late pick right now. Like you have no objective future for a quarterback right now. And there's not many in free agency. You're pretty late in the draft, like not in a big rebuild spot. So kind of, I would like, unless you want to ship off Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, I would. Well, actually, Mike Evans is a free agent, isn't he? Think he's a free agent.
He actually might have gotten some type of extension.
Maybe.
I think,
well, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I think make Mike Evans a buck for life. I think that's just one of the guys. Screw it, just make him a buck for life. But I was pretty impressed with Lions being able to pull away there. Last thing I just wanted to bring up, we kind of brought it up earlier with Chill's Chiefs Bills, but specifically, this has kind of made its way over NFL Twitter yesterday. But the touchback rule, fumbling in the end zone, the other team getting the ball on the 20. I'm conflicted. Look, I'm conflicted on this one because
I would either say there's a couple ways to go about
ultimate bailout, but
there's a couple ways to go about this. One, don't like. I agree. I think it's fucking stupid, but also don't fumble where it matters the most. So there's a couple ways. I think that you keep the rule and you can be like, if there's an intent to cross the goal line and the ball comes out, okay, that's different. That gets put on the one. Or if you're on like the 2 and you're going down and the ball pops out and runs out there, yeah, sucks, bro. I'm sorry. Like I feel like that's probably one of the better ways to go about it.
One thing you were saying that
Justin Jefferson, I think the Eagles game, there's that video of him. He's diving for the pylon. The ball comes out of his hand as he's crossing and it goes out and that's a fumble. That's an intent. That would not be a fumble. That shouldn't count as a turnover.
He's like trying to reach over the pylon. Like
that's
he's making
down on the
one move.
That's down on the 1 yard line. Now, like yesterday, or I guess this would be on Sunday, if you're listening on Tuesday, in that game, the ball came out at like the 2 yard line when he was going down. There was no intent to cross the goal line. It went out of the back of the end zone. That would be a turnover because it was not an intention of trying to score. It was not a football move. The ball got punched out like that.
Yeah, one thing I think about is like, let's say an offense player fumbles and it goes out of bounds, but not in the end zone, just goes out of bounds. The ball's down right there. Offense keeps possession. It's just when it comes to touchback, that's when the rules just like change suddenly, where I feel like there's some inconsistency. But what you were bringing up earlier, I kind of think it might be the only solution where the ball gets placed under a touchback scenario. The ball gets placed where that play began and started. Not like, so let's say it was a 3 yard to gain. It's a 2nd and goal. You got 3 yards a gain and the ball gets fumbled out of bounds. The ball goes back on the 3. It's now 3rd down and 3.
Well, I said it's wherever they were originally down when that was happening. But then you get into some issues where it's like Justin Jefferson.
Well, a lot of the times they might not be down.
Yeah, but I honestly think if you want to keep like the best way to go about it, in my opinion, the best way to go about it is whether or not there's an intent. And then you're going to get into the whole bullshit with the refs, which is going to happen either way. But I think the most fair way to be able to keep the rule is whether or not there's an intent. If there's an intent to cross and it gets like you're like reaching and some dude just hits your fucking hand and rolls out when you're like about to be there, that's kind of BS. But if you're on the 2 yard line and you can't hold on the ball, you get peanut punched. Sucks for you, dude. Learn how to hold on to a football.
Like I'm trying to think of a scenario where the offense would want to specifically fumble to get advantage of this rule here. And I was like, maybe, but then I also thought, well, if you're about to score a touchdown, then you would never fumble it. You just score a touchdown.
The only other way where it kind of makes sense is don't have it be a touchback, like on a kickoff touchback, change it so it's on the 1 yard line.
Yeah. The defense should get the ball on the. Yes.
Like that would be the only other thing.
Actually the solution.
I still like it a little bit better where, if there's an intent, if like you're supposed to be scoring, because like those are two very different things. Like Justin Jefferson's fumble versus the fumble that we saw in this game where it just rolled out when he was kind of on the ground already going down. I think those are two very different plays and have a lot of different things going on. Like you have a chance with that ball coming out at like the 2 or 3, you have a chance to get it. There wasn't people around, but you could get it instead of it rolling out. With you reaching and diving over and it coming out.
Yeah.
That shit's going out of bounds immediately. You can't Superman and go and get that ball. So that's what I think that the two differences are. Okay, real quick. We're going to give our takes for this week's game slate. Real quick before we say anything.
No, we're not. That's next episode. We're not.
Oh, that is next episode. I'm a little scrambled up. My bad. I'm forgetting that because I was like, oh, there's only 2 games this week. We could do it. Um, so for talking about quarterbacks and stuff, Paul Allen, you know who Paul Allen is.
Of course. Who doesn't know Paul Allen?
Notorious, infamous, legendary Vikings commenter. Paul Allen, voice of the Vikings. He has a show. It's called 9 to Noon. Okay, it's a Minnesota show. It's on KFAN radio, and he talks about Vikings football the whole time. He talks with some people, talks with people on the Vikings, talks with fans, etc. Paul Allen is inside the organization, not literally, but like he is
knows people
to them and knows people. Like his show is inside like the Viking studio and stuff. It's like he's the Vikings like social media guy essentially. Like he's a part of the organization, but also like there's some gray area, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, he's typically very much on the trigger when it comes to Vikings offseason moves. He was especially on the trigger with Kirk Cousins. I remember listening to his show in the summer talking about Kirk Cousins and how everything was working out when we signed him the first time. He specifically came out on his show, he's become more and more skeptical of the Vikings re-signing Kirk Cousins. And he's been talking about the Vikings trading up to the number 3 pick, specifically the number 3 pick, which I believe is the Patriots. So that's like what I would say is Jaden Daniels territory.
Maybe Drake May could be at 3, which
could be somehow Caleb Williams if shit really goes wrong. But that is just very interesting to me that him specifically, who has advocated to re-sign Kirk Cousins in the past, likes Kirk, is becoming more skeptical of the team re-signing him. And Kirk has also said, if you remember, Kirk was like, yeah, if I get offered to play with a Hall of Fame coach, like insinuating Bill Belichick, I would love to do that. So I think that that's interesting. And I do think that it would be a huge misfire from the Vikings to not re-sign him. And there's enough cap space to do that and extend Justin Jefferson and do Danielle Hunter and get like there's enough to go around. All right. So if you miss on that and you end up getting fucking Ryan Tannehill for a year or Russ, I don't like that. I don't like that very much. So I don't think Justin Jefferson would like that very much either. But it's definitely interesting. And one thing, we're talking about my team right now, but we'll talk about yours as well. Jim Harbaugh is getting a second interview with the Chargers. I believe it is the first second interviewee for the Chargers head coaching job.
I think that could be correct, but I could be wrong. I think we did conduct another second interview with somebody else. I could be wrong. What I'm hearing though, all right, I'm hearing from half of people that the Chargers Harbaugh deal's kind of already been preliminary agreed. Oh yeah, now I'm voice tracked because I'm nervous right now about this. I'm not very confident anymore, but half the sources are saying they seem to be in preliminary agreements. Deal's already kind of done. They're hashing things out. And the other side is telling me might not be totally done. We don't know if Harbaugh is 100% going to LA. Oh shit. So one thing that I found very interesting today is that the Chargers blocked the Chicago Bears from interviewing Kellen Moore for an OC position. Now, why would the Chargers block that move? Two things. Let's start from a perspective of Harbaugh potentially still being the head coach, but not being certain, like what is probably how we are right now. Now, you would want to, first things first, Harbaugh is likely going to bring in his own offensive coaches if he takes the Chargers head coaching job. Keep in mind, Harbaugh is a quarterback coach. So keep in mind, he's an offensive guy. I know he's not always branded as that, but he will bring over his offensive staff. But let's say the Chargers don't know exactly if Harbaugh's coming. Maybe it's Vrabel. I'm not saying he's the number 2 option. I'm guessing he is if Harbaugh doesn't come. If Vrabel happens to be the guy, a defensive-minded coach who wouldn't necessarily bring in an offensive staff, then Kellen Moore would most likely be retained as OC.
I also do just think that it's just a general thing where, one, Kellen Moore did technically interview to be their head coach, and they're trying to keep all their options open.
In theory, yes.
And two, you don't want to give. It's not saying that he's going to be their offensive coordinator, but you want to give your coach, whoever is hired, the opportunity to hire any of the guys on staff.
Yeah.
Like to be able to retain them. And also, they're looking out for Kellen. Okay. They didn't want him to be in Chicago. That's for his own career. All right. You don't want to be there. They're looking out for him. All right.
They did that for him, actually.
For him specifically.
I mean, I guess in theory, if Harbaugh was already inked up, then you would let Kellen Moore take that interview. I
yes
guess.
And no.
But
okay. So to wrap up this episode, we're gonna do this offseason wish list. Like I said, if you're a new listener, new watcher, new viewer, subscribe for more of them. You will hear them first here. Some of them you will hear first on YouTube. Others are going to be exclusive on other platforms, specifically on TikTok. So make sure you go follow us on there if you enjoy these. And if you're not already subscribed or don't already follow us on TikTok. So that's how we're doing it this year, right? You can hear them first here, but some of them are also going to be exclusive on TikTok. All right. This is for the Seahawks. This is going to be interesting. And we're going to probably talk about this a little bit. But the Seahawks in a really weird space right now. Okay. So here we go. Hope Mike Vrabel is your next head coach. Resign Jordan Brooks, Leonard Williams, Damian Lewis, and Noah Fant. Trade or cut Jamal Adams, Geno Smith, Will Dissly, and Brian Moan. Sign Gardner Minshew, Tyler Huntley, Adam Troutman, Aziz Al-Shaair, Troy Dye, Kyle Duggar, Max Garcia, and Chuma Edoga. Use that one. Restructure Tyler Lockett and tender Patrick O'Connell, Jake Curran, Brady Russell, and Miles Adams.
A lot of moves there. I think something that interests me is the restructure Lockett. I think with their selection of JSN, now disappointing season from what people would expect out of JSN his rookie year.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I thought that selection indicated long term because JSN and Lockett.
No, it is. Keep in mind,
guys, like
keep in mind that Tyler Lockett, I think, is 32 years old. He has next season and one more season after, so 2 seasons in total left on his contract. I just think that considering Pete's still there and considering it's the same GM and everybody, like, and just the fan, he's going to retire as a Seahawk. And I think
I think that should happen. But yes.
I also think that if you're bringing in a new head coach, and you're also probably going to try and bring in a rookie quarterback, having those guys there to kind of help develop you and like is pretty important. And also Tyler Lockett was still pretty good last year. The other thing that somebody was saying that I saw just relating to Mike Vrabel. I might be
down for Bo Nix to Seattle.
The other thing that somebody was saying, the specific to Mike Vrabel, though, he doesn't really like rookie quarterbacks. His tenure in Tennessee.
I heard he just doesn't like rookies.
Yeah. Ryan Tannehill obviously was starting for a while. Mariota was originally there, and then Will Levis started this season, which was a problem. And Malik Willis famously
Vrabel wasn't the coach Mariota's rookie years, correct?
No,
it was
no.
Doug Marrone.
Yeah,
is that his
name?
That
was Jaguars. But
I think
it's Mike Malarkey.
Malarkey. Okay.
But yeah, it's interesting. And that's why here, okay, they already were down. They had the only quarterback on roster for next season right now is Geno Smith. Okay. So if he's gone, now not only do you have to sign technically a starter, but you have to sign a backup. So what we did here, you have Gardner Minshew, who's coming in, who played actually real quick. The way that I have this graded out for last season. Okay. Geno Smith had a 79 overall grade. Gardner Minshew had a 73. Gardner Minshew started one more game than Geno and threw 9 less passes, completed 20 less in total. Gardner Minshew threw for 300 less yards.
Well, I feel like we got to take these Minshew stats with a grain of salt because he was thrusted into that role.
Yes, but I'm saying that's better for Minshew.
Oh, yeah.
Threw for 300 less yards with 1 less 300-yard or more passing game. Had a total completion percentage of 62 compared to Geno Smith's 64, so pretty close. Yards per attempt, pretty close. Overall, just talking about interceptions and touchdowns, Geno Smith, 20 for 9. Gardner Minshew, 15 for 9. Okay. Geno Smith also fumbled the ball 3 times, Gardner 5. So honestly, pretty close overall. And you're paying a lot less for Gardner Minshew. And I also think Tyler Huntley coming in as a backup or fighting for that starting role is going to be pretty interesting just because we've seen him start. He famously got into the Pro Bowl the other year. And I know people are going to be like, well, you know what? The Ravens aren't going to let him go. He's going to want to stay with the Ravens. If he's given the opportunity to start somewhere and compete to start,
He's leaving.
it's a done deal. And on top of that, all right, you're going to have these two guys and then hopefully a rookie quarterback to be in there for not this season, but next season. And if you
I'm
ask
just
me,
talking out of my ass, but I'm not that against Bo Nix. I'm not
if you ask me, one, I don't think the fucking Seahawks are going anywhere with Geno. I don't think they're winning the Super Bowl with Geno Smith. Not in that division. No shot they're winning the Super Bowl with Geno Smith. No. So why are we keeping his contract around when he's 32 years old? You're not going to win like that. It's not going to happen. Now, you could be like, okay, so then why do you re-sign Leonard Williams? You sunk a second-round pick into him last trade deadline, and he's a free agent now. Are you going to let that second-round pick walk? No, you're not going to let that second-round pick walk. So you're going to re-sign him. That's the only thing that makes sense. Otherwise, you just wasted a very, very precious draft capital. And a lot of these guys will be on contract through kind of the first couple of years of whoever this rookie quarterback would be, outside of maybe one or two players. So, you're using that money that you got rid of from Jamal Adams and Geno Smith for not one, but two possible starting quarterbacks. You're re-signing a tight end and getting a blocking tight end. You are going to be able to now re-sign your first round pick from a couple years ago, who was a inside linebacker, getting another starting linebacker, which was a problem because obviously now Bobby Wagner is not going to be there. You get to bring in safety help to replace Jamal Adams. You get to bring back Leonard Williams. Get to have your guard back, and you get depth on top of it. So I just kind of think it's a win all. It's a little bit like Moneyball. It's like, how can you replace somebody in the aggregate? Which is a little bit of the way that this is going. And I'm waiting for the comment to be like, this guy's playing Moneyball. But it's some people think I'm playing Madden, which is complete bullshit because if you actually looked at the amount of work that goes into this and the amount of math that goes into it, I guarantee you, you'd be very surprised. So there's a lot that goes into this and a lot of requirements that go into it. So, but that is the Seahawks. I'm expecting to have to fight people on the Geno Smith bit. I think that he could also stay. And if you want to keep Geno Smith, instead of a couple of these moves, you probably won't be signing Gardner Minshew. You probably won't get Kyle Duggar, and you may or may not be able to re-sign Noah Fant. And it's just going to be a pretty shitty offense. And because of that, it just doesn't make sense. Hit Geno Smith's contract. So he is given $12 million on February 16th if he's still on roster. Right now, if they cut him, they do not owe him anything. On February 12th, I think it's 12th to 16th, something like that. He is owed $12 million. And if he is on roster March 13th, on top of that, he is owed another $9 million just for being on the roster. So now you add that to kind of what his contract is. It's a lot of money for a guy who was kind of hurt going down the stretch. His head coach is not there anymore. It's going to be a new offensive coordinator, a new head coach, an older guy that's paying a lot of money, even if he's like the 12th, I think, highest paid quarterback. 12th highest paid quarterback for a team that needs to get younger and is kind of starting fresh. I think that is really also they have the building blocks. So their offensive line is very young. They have DK Metcalf, who's still pretty young. JSN, who's still pretty young. Kenneth Walker, who is very young.
I like
defensively,
Charbonnet
Devon Witherspoon and Tyreek Woolen, both very young. Jordan Brooks is still very young. Julian Love, I think, is their safety that's going to be replacing Jamal Adams, very young. So,
do you have anything on Draymond Jones there?
So Draymond Jones was a possible cut candidate. He just signed a contract extension last year. The only reason I did not have that is because one season of lack of production is not necessarily an indicator of that they should be cut, because he's got a very big presence on the defensive line. And if you get rid of him and re-sign Leonard Williams, now you have to replace Draymond Jones. You're going to pay about the same amount for a player just about the same caliber. So it doesn't really make sense to take on the dead cap there.
I
You
was
could
just asking because
restructure
that's
it,
an
but
Ohio State boy right there.
yeah,
So
no, he did not have a good season this past year. He is a cap casualty possibility, but I do not have him as a cap casualty. They are so like cap stricken that it's like they're going to be good in 2-3 years. I think it's 3 years from right now. So not this season, this upcoming season or the season after, but 2 seasons from this next season.
right.
They have like $201 million in cap space. So
My God.
yeah,
Okay.
All means
right.
that not many people are under
Seattle.
contract, but they have
Seattle.
the ability. It's
Yeah.
going to be big. So, but yeah, with that, thank you guys so much for watching this. Rate us 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at Waterboy Pod. Make sure to follow me and Grant on Twitter at Everett and at Waterboy Grant. We post new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday on YouTube and all podcast platforms. So make sure to subscribe to us there. Post new TikToks every Tuesday to Sunday, including these off-season wish lists. So make sure to follow us and subscribe there for more updates. Keep up to date with our Twitter, and we'll be trying to post more Instagram throughout the week, as well as segments from these episodes. So we see you guys in the next episode. Waterboys out.